Right, today's question, skipping. So, if I can skip continuously without making a mistake, I'm going to record those. Now I've already done it 5 times, and my mean is 13. The question is though, is I don't want a mean of 13, I don't want an average of 13, I want an average of 15. So on my next go, how many do I need to get to make sure that I've got a mean of at least 15? There's our questions. Have a little think about it. You might want to pause it for a moment. If you keep watching, I'll tell you how to do it. Right, let's first of all make sure that we understand what the question actually is, right? What we're trying to do. So, I'm going to try and see how many times I can skip continuously before I make a mistake. So far, I've tried it 5 times, and I've worked out my mean, and the mean is 13. But I would like, after 6 goes, so another go, I would like my mean to be at least 15. Right, so let's think about what we actually know. Move that up just so we've got a bit more room for our workings. So what I'm going to do is just going to highlight what's important. So we've had 5 goes, and the mean is 13. So I want to think, what does that actually tell me? Just then. Nothing else. I'm not worried about anything else for a minute. I'm just thinking about what does that tell me. Well, how do I work out the mean? The mean, if you remember, the mean is equal to the total divided by the number of attempts, number of tries, number of data values. So here, 13 is equal to the total divided by 5. So what I do know is I know how many skips I've managed in the 5 trials, or the 5 attempts that I've had. If I multiply these two numbers together, 5 multiplied by 13, that gives me 65. So 5 multiplied by 13 equals 65. So that 65 is the number of skips that I've managed. That's the total that I've got so far. I don't know how many. It might be in the case that I got 0, 0, 0, 0 and 65. Right? It could be any combination of 5 numbers that total 65. Right? So I've got 65 altogether so far. So now what we need to do is we need to work out, well, okay, how many do I want to get on my last skip? Remember, I want to get a mean of at least 15. So let's just do exactly the same thing. I want the mean to be 15 after 6 goes. So that means 6 times 15. Use your calculator if you want to, okay? You're allowed. Don't worry about using your calculator, okay? I've got a calculator here. You can use it. And 6 times 15 is 90. So I need my total skips to be 90 after 6 goes. So, and after 5 goes it was 65. So therefore on my final skip I'm going to need to get 90 take away, 65. Let's write down the answer there. 90 take away 65. Again, use your calculator, but try and write this stuff down as you go. 25. So the answer to our question is 25 skips. I must get at least 25. If I manage to do more than 25, fantastic. Then our mean will be more than 15, which is our target. Right, so we're going to go back and see if we manage to get 25 or more skips. I'm pretty confident that we're going to manage it. Okay. 25 or more. Get a mean of 15 or more. It's a tough challenge. Let's try it. Here we go. Come on. Let's do this. 4, 5, 6, 13, 14, 15, 16, 25 or more. Excellent. What a fine athlete. I think you'll agree. Right, okay, so let's have a look at what questions would actually look like on this. So let's have a look at our first one here. So we got a mean of sample of 6 numbers is 3.2, extra value of 3.9. Okay, so let's just highlight what's important. Right, so just focusing on this piece of information here. We got 6 numbers, and that gives us a mean of 3.2. What does that tell us about the total of the 6 numbers? Well, if 6 numbers has a mean of 3.2, if I just multiply those two together, so 6 multiplied by 3.2, that gives me 19.2. So the total of those 6 numbers must be 19.2. Right, so what's happening is that we're going to add an extra number to it. So let's now take 19.2, that's the total of the 6 numbers, and we're going to add 3.9. So we're going to add that. So add 3.9. There we go. So that's 23.1. So what have I just worked out? That is the total of 7 numbers. That's the total of 7 numbers. That was a total of 6 numbers. That's the total of the extra numbers being added. So 23.1 divided by 7 will now give us the mean of those 7 numbers. So divide that by 7, 3.3. There we go, 3.3. And that's the new mean. Right, we'll just do one more quick example, and then you're going to have a go at doing a few questions. Here we go. So, similar sort of question, the mean of a set of 5 numbers. So we can see this here, mean of a set of 5 numbers is 12.7. So, think about what this tells us. So 5 numbers, the mean is 12.7. So therefore, I know what the total of the 5 numbers is going to be. So 5 times 12.7, 5 times 12.7, 63.5. 63.5. Right, what does it actually want me to do? Right, what do we actually need to do? So, what extra number must be added to bring the mean up to 13.1? So I'm going to stick an extra. That means I've got 6 numbers. I had 5 numbers, so I'm going to have 6 numbers. And I want the mean to be 13.1. So what's that new total got to be? This is quite similar to our skipping example. So 6 times 13.1, 6 multiplied by 13.1, 78.6. 78.6. So the 6th number, this is the total of the 5 numbers, that's the total of 6 numbers. So the answer is the difference between those two. So 78.6. So if I got 78.6, I'm going to take away 63.5. Remember, calculator's fine. Take away 63.5. There you go, 15.1. And if you haven't got calculator, well, you've got calculators on your phone, or got calculator on your computer as well, okay? Right, so the answer to that last one is 15.1. Right, so you need to have a go at trying to do some questions. Don't be put off by the context, right? The only thing that might kind of catch you out on these questions is just the fact that they try and give you some context. Just do exactly the same as what I've done here. Highlight what's important and just think about those things. Right? So questions are sometimes just make it look a little bit harder because they try and give some flowery context around the question. Right? Just focus on what's important. Right, so you can have a go at doing a few questions now.